What is up, everyone? Welcome back to Base Damage. It is tournament season once again for 2023. We are getting into the 1v1s. The team season is over from Springfest and everything, and it was awesome to keep track of. But I didn't really put out a whole bunch of videos on it, so this time around I wanted to try to put up like kind of tournament reports every chance that I get. For those who don't know, I'm a truck driver. So I'm typically out on the road for weeks at a time, and when I come back in, maybe, you know, a couple of them will have already transpired. So when I come back in, I will be checking and seeing if the information has been posted, thanks to Weiss Tea Time, and just kind of looking over each of the decks that have been topping between, like say for Toronto, with this one between first to 8th place. Not all the information has been revealed just yet, but I did want to go over each of the decks that we do know about. And I know about a couple of these preemptively. This week, I'm going to be trying to post this right before the Rosemont, Illinois is going to be taking place, and I don't know how to pronounce this. It's in Austria Modling. I could be wrong. But September 17th, those will be going on. So I'm going to try to release this right before the weekend of that. And we wanted to basically start doing like a series on this, just tournament reports whenever we can, and try to cover all throughout the tournaments throughout the fall. And maybe try to see if we can talk to some of the top players right before Worlds happens. And just really want to try to, you know, bring more people in for like the podcast and stuff like that. So let's get right into it. So on September 3rd in Toronto, Canada, we had quite a few interesting decks show up. This is also I think Overlord released like the weekend, like that. I think it released right before this. So Overlord was not legal to be played in this Canada tournament. The set has to be out for, I think it's a minimum of 2 weeks. Before it is legal for play within regionals and stuff like that. So then Rosemont, Illinois is going to be seeing some Overlord, that's for damn sure. But let's see what they had to contend with this. Looks like we have some Slime is what got first place. A 8 pants build, and I kind of knew about this a little bit, but I didn't know what all like the game plan was supposed to be. So I have taken a sneak peek at some of these. Also running alternate arts. The deck name is Slime V2. Running off of 2 pants triggers for the deck. I think this is just like an alternate art for this one. It's not like 3 different climaxes. It's just 2 different climaxes, but they got one that was triple rare, so congrats to them. They have a couple interesting higher rarity ones, like the Shuna here. It's like very nice. But it focuses on I'm not going to go over like every single card. I just kind of wanted to highlight specific things for it. It focuses on the level 1 Shizu combo right here. What the hell is wrong with me? The Shizu combo with Pants Trigger Legendary Hero. And the Muran level 2 right here. This gets big. I will talk about this for a half second. Also triggering with, working with under the Pants Trigger to search the deck and give you extra stock from the waiting room, which is really nice. It has some interesting combos. So it itself gets up to a 10-5. And if you have this particular Shuna on field, it gets bigger. And if you have a level 0 Muran right here with the Shuna in back row, it gives a bigger buffs. I think it ends up being like 12-5 with hexproof. So these things are very much like something you got to worry about. In terms of if you're on the receiving end of this, very much have to watch out for this. This should be very interesting. And I actually kind of like this deck. I have some of the stuff that I could probably build this. Like, I'm glad to see this particular Shuna is getting some love, because this is a very easy early play condition and everything. She's just she's only strong for 1 turn, and then it's whatever. But there's not really a top end for this. It looks like you're trying to use a lot of say the Benimaru here to do burn damage and whatnot. This Millum does clock shoot, and on play you have the chance to be able to burn for 1. So you're more just trying to make a wall and trying to search for the burn cards, the heal cards, and the Xion also does some cancel burn. Yeah. So it actually does a very nice chunk of burn right there. but also has cancel burn on top of that. So you're basically trying to build up the stock to be able to play all of these top ends. These don't climax combo with anything, which is very nice. So it just really depends on what you're able to play at the time. But I am very much liking this slime build, just me personally. I don't know if I'll be able to build it, but I just don't know if I can. But I kind of want to do something similar. So, moving right along, the next one was Avatar: The Last Airbender. I was very, very hype for Avatar when it finally dropped, and I'm working on several things for it. But this in particular is just a very nice deck list, focusing on the level 1 Toph Climax combo with a gold bar, and the Azula standby top end, which is just very interesting, because it lets you, like, for anyone who also hasn't been watching some of Refresh Point's podcast, definitely go listen to it. One of theirs fairly recently talked about a combo utilizing this particular Sokka and the Azula to be able to get, like, multiple attacks off and everything, and I had to look up some other videos on it as well. But this deck can, under the right circumstances, get a lot of attacks off and be very, very oppressive. So this is really cool to be able to see. Just once again, I wanted them to make Avatar good, and it seems like they kind of did that. So it feels like they actually put forth a good chunk of effort into it. So this is very interesting. I want to see Avatar doing more. I know people are working on the Master of Elements deck and everything, so I'll be really happy if I could see that top. You know, that'd be really cool. Next, in third place, we have Hololive. There is no surprise here because Gura has landed. We have Ozki Gura, basically a standby deck focused on trying to early play as many Guras as possible so that you don't have to pay as much cost and get as many of her climax combos off as possible. It runs the Kali level 1, but not for the climax combo she has, solely for the crit triggers between, like, her and the Iroha, the crit triggers from the Ina and everything, and just you're trying to make this as consistent as possible for the Gura to try to get her burns off as much as possible. Which, for those who don't know, in JP, this Gura and this Watson are on a pick 1 of 5 list. So it's something to keep in mind that this may end up getting hit in the future. I don't know. I really don't think it needs to. That's just me personally. But I also just love Hololive, so it doesn't fucking matter. So obviously, like I said before, it's working off the Gura Climax combo. Just lots of burn. Give the card a read when you get a chance. It's very cool. But the advantage engine of it is off of this Ozki with her standby, letting you, on play of the Climax, you still get your standby summon off of this, but being able to sack the Climax, bounce her back, and search your deck for any Hololive character that you need. There's no restriction on this. It's not like level 1 or lower or anything. It's just any Hololive. Just whatever the fuck you need, whenever you need it. And that is some amazing utility in general. And because it's not like your typical standby build, because you're actually, like, typically with standby, you're trying to summon out, like, say with this, this particular Last Airbender one, the Azula, like a 2/2 with 2 soul, you're not doing that with this. You're trying to summon out the Watson. You're trying to standby this out at, like, level 1 and whatnot, so that you can try to build up enough stock with for the Gura and everything. Try to, you know, summon Guras early off the standby and everything. It's just really crazy. Also, Pants Trigger letting you get the standby back and everything. So this is going to be a really fun list to see a whole bunch. I have everything to build this. I actually have all the cards for this, but I didn't want to make this exact build. I want to do something for my own. That's just me. There is another Ozki Gura down here in 5th place, but we don't have the deck list for it just yet. I'm going to assume that it's probably similar. There's probably not going to be too terribly much variation for this, but I'm just saying it is probably going to be very similar. But congrats to whoever it was that got 5th place, just saying. Next, and this is one I really want to fucking shout out. This is so cool. We have quintuplets, but it's not Nino. There's no Nino in this top end, by the way. Just wanting to point that out real quick. It's Ichika. We have 8 choice Ichika. And I didn't know this was going to be as big of a thing as people were talking about, because I made a deck profile like a couple weeks ago based off of this level 3 Ichika and the new level 3 Ichika from the movie set and everything. This one isn't completely running that. It's also running the level 1. I don't really care for this as much, even though this is one of the good level 1 engines within the quintuplets sets. I do like this one, but I just didn't want to run it. So I decided to forego this altogether and just focused on these two for my build personally. But I'm very much liking this because Ichigo is my favorite. So I was very, very happy to see this. Also running the event. I actually, I knew about this event, but I really didn't care to run it. So I saw it and I was like, okay, I don't need this personally, but I might be taking a second look at it. I'll be real. They had to do a very interesting climax split as well. 4 copies of the level 1, 3 copies of the level 3 that can early play, and only 1 copy of the new for the one from the movie set. This still heals on play regardless, but you can technically get away with this. I don't typically advocate this in terms of running awkward numbers like this, but this particular level 3 right here lets you get away with it. It lets you pay a cost to grab back a climax with a choice trigger in your waiting room to your hand. There is also swappers in here. This is a climax swapper as well. So when you have 2 different sources of that, and unless I'm forgetting another effect in here that lets you do that, I just don't remember every single thing off the top of my head. Because you have that much liberty with both, level 3s you're going to be playing anyway, the swappers and everything, you can get away with this pretty decently. I still wouldn't particularly advocate it, but, I don't care. It's Ichika waifu. Shout outs to the person who ran this. Freaking awesome. So, we have another Slime 8 Pants deck. Little bit of change, a little bit of different changes. Geld's in here. For the most part, it's a lot of the same stuff. The utilities changed up a little bit from what I've seen. Yeah, because they are running a couple different level 0s and whatnot, unless that's just alternate arts for some stuff. I don't think so. This one's pretty cool. This is a stock swap thing. Level 0, did you have... They don't have that in here in particular. I just happened to... Oh, no, wait. They do not. Okay, so I thought that was maybe an alternate art, so that's not it. So, obviously, the utility stuff has changed up a little bit, but it seems the level 1, the level 2, and a lot of the level 3s needed do match for the top end and everything, which is really cool. So, you do like to see stuff like this being as consistent as it is, and I guess that's one thing. Slime's always been very consistent in doing its stuff. So, and lastly, our 2 SAO decks. I'm surprised to see the 2 SAO decks here, which it is Alice, sure, but no Nino. That's just me. We don't have the exact ones that ended up topping. However, I pulled up one from the Bushiroad Rumble online because I figured this would be kind of a good enough template for people to kind of see what they're going to be up against. Obviously, you got to worry about the Alice and everything. The Silica top end is off of a salvage trigger, while the Alice is off of a choice trigger. And this is just on attack, discard cards from hand to burn and make your opponent decompress and whatnot. So it's just really, really interesting for that. I noticed, though, it's not utilizing... Oh, no, it is. I was about to say I don't see the shield event, but I forgot on deck log. They put the events after the level 0s. So they are running, obviously, the Argo to make it so you can play events without fulfilling color requirement. Having the money counters. This got very fucking expensive at one point. Demonic Sword Graham and everything. So just saying. The typical package, the engine and everything. I'm not seeing anything really extremely out of the ordinary. Running 2 copies of this, I guess, instead of just 1, which is very nice. A lot of backups, I guess. It works. So yeah, just like I said, this is taken from the Bushiroad Rumble, but for the most part, this is basically what you're going to be seeing if you see Alice Silica, as opposed to Alice Kirito's are going to be different and whatnot. So I just took that from Bro and just wanted to show that real quick. But that is going to be it for the Toronto report, so to speak. Like I said, in a couple weeks, we are, or let's say by the end of this week when I'm recording this, we should be getting the Rosemont and the Austria. Like I said, I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm so sorry. But Austria should be happening, so we're going to have 2 interesting ones on the same weekend, and the Philippines happening the weekend after. I'm going to see if I'll be back in to be able to do a report on that once I come back in, but it depends if they have the information or not. It's totally cool. That being said, I know Joe Schmo, part of the channel, wanted to go to Houston, Texas in November. I don't think I'll be able to go to that one, but I am wanting to go to the Duluth, Georgia one in December personally. So, you know, on the ground tournament report, maybe. I don't know if they'll even care for me to, like, obviously I probably won't take video or nothing, but I'll try to, like, do some talk about it or whatever. As well as for people, I'm going to be trying to reach out to get people onto the podcast for more of the tournaments that are going to be happening. Got to reach out to particular people. As well as there's another online tournament I think I'm going to be helping with later in the year as well, but more info on that at a later date. But yeah, no, that's going to be it for today. Thank y'all very much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you want. If not, hey, thanks for stopping by to check out the awesomeness that is all the new Weiss decks that we got to worry about. And prepare for Overlord incoming. I'm just going to end on on this because, anyway, because Gura is adorable. But we'll be signing off. Y'all have a wonderful day. Peace out for now.